Some of you wanted to know what were some of our biggest stock losses ever. You know, some of the mistakes that we made where we really just lost money because we were trying to get rich overnight. So because you guys know I'm all about being transparent, today's video is going to be talking about this. So we're going to share 3 stocks that my husband and I lost money in, and hopefully you can avoid the mistake that we did. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Besties, welcome back to the channel. If you are new around here, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank y'all so much for coming back. I do appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you so much for your support. All of my new subscribers, all of my returning subscribers, thank you so much. So let's get into this because I don't want this video to be too long and I want to get right to the point. So my husband and I have had some, pretty major losses in our eyes when it comes to trying to chase after stocks, trying to get rich, or even trying to chase after dividend yields. And so I'm going to share with you 3 of those stocks today, and hopefully you guys can learn from our mistakes. I'll tell you this before I get into it. When I first started investing, I had no idea if I was an investor or a trader. And because I asked you guys that often, there's different approaches to that. And I love when I think Keenan had a video out talking about this recently about knowing the difference between the two. And so did Uncle Larry too. And I think Stock Mo did too. Well, they're the GOAT, so they talk about this often, but you approach it differently. And to me, when I first started to invest, and goodness, I came on social media and I saw you can get rich overnight with it. I literally just kind of almost jumped in head first when it came to it. And so please guys, don't make the same mistake that I did. So I'm going to share with you 3 companies that through the years, we just did not do well in, and hopefully you guys can learn from this to research. Okay, so if you are new to investing and you're trying to figure out, okay, Shalise, everyone says do your own research. What in the world does that mean? Well, if you are a beginner investor, just start with 3 questions. Okay, tell me who the CEO is, find out what service or product do they make, and then I want you to look at their last earnings report and find how much did they net in terms of earnings, how much was their revenue, and how much debt did they have. I think that's simple, and I think that's a really easy start if you are a beginner. And I have many more different types of research questions that you can look at in the investing workbook. So if you wanted to grab that, you can check out my website. But I have my notes here, and I'll have some screenshots of the actual stock. But the first one, and this was a lack of, I would say, not being in tune with our accounts, and this was Zynga. I hope I'm saying this right. So this is an app / video game software company, and one of the reasons why I'm always saying please do updates, check in with your money. You want to know why I keep doing portfolio updates and dividend updates and net worth updates? Why? Because things can happen when you're not looking at your money. And I think sometimes we will invest, which is a good thing, but things can change in that company that you may not know or that you may not be aware of. And Zynga was actually being bought out by another company. I had no clue. And the thing was, when the transaction was completed and they were officially under the ownership of someone else, our shares were going to be cashed out. Now, I wanted to sell anyway because we were up a little bit, but the stock tanked and it sold our shares. So we sold at a loss, and I didn't even want to. And here's the funny thing. I logged back into Webull and I was like, where is our stock at? I don't see our shares. I actually had to do some digging and had to do some research, oh, they were acquired and the shares were cashed out, and we cashed out at a loss. And then I was upset with myself because I was like, I wanted to actually sell while it was up 2 weeks prior. And so that's what I'm always saying, check in, because if I would have checked in with our portfolio update, I would have came across, because with Webull and a lot of the other brokers, they'll give you the most recent news associated with that company, and I would have seen that the company was going to be acquired and the shares were going to be cashed out. So of course it would make most investors who own that stock take their profit and just go. But of course, because I wasn't checking in with anything, I just didn't know. So that's just an example of never just leave your money floating out in space. Okay, you work too hard for your investments. You are consistent. You are making your money move. So you got to do your check-ins. I can't stress that enough. And that's why I'm on this channel doing mine, to hopefully motivate you guys to do yours as well. The second stock that we really kind of really fell in, and this is a great example of dividend investing. You guys know I'm big on dividend investing because to me it's the best type of passive income. We do have a dividend group and I share my dividend monthly income with you guys, and that will be in Monday's video. So make sure you stay tuned if you want to see our real numbers and screenshots and all of that. But this company is a really great example of why you should not chase dividend yields, or because a company pays a dividend or because a fund pay a dividend, you should invest in it. Why? Because it can go wrong. So this is ticker symbol AGNC. Let me pull it up on my thing. You guys will see it up on your screen as well. This is an investment company that deal with REITs. So you guys know I'm always talking about REITs on this channel and why they are great. Realty income is one of the best in my humble opinion. But this is a great example of a company whose management is really driving it into the ground. So yes, they pay an outstanding yield of 17.52%. That's great. But if you look at the past 5 years, and I always tell people, just go to the past 5 years. You don't have to know everything about technical analysis. But if you go back to the past 5 years and it's down 60%, that's a red flag to me. It can be down 10% because companies go through lull moments, but 60% is a big thing for me. And this is a great example of, you know, it can pay a great dividend. And with us, we had about, I'm looking at my notes, we had about like 70 shares in this because it's cheap, but the yield was great. I think total we got like maybe $75 or something in dividends, but we actually wound up selling this position at almost a $500 loss because it just kept falling. So you want to invest in dividend companies that are growing over the long term, but also paying a dividend. So if they're paying a dividend, but the company is just going down and down and down, you don't want your money in there. Again, we want growth as well as good dividend income. Okay, we need those two. And then the final company was Sundial. So I'm probably sure if you are into the whole penny stock movement, my husband and I are more like into starter companies versus like penny stocks, if that makes sense. But Sundial Growers is a marijuana penny stock company, okay? And this is really, really big on the day trading scene, okay? The stock is not really expensive in the grand scheme of things. I think it's like a couple of bucks. But again, my husband and I got into this company because it was cheap and because we were trying to like make a bunch of money in a week, okay? And I quickly realized that your sis is not a trader. I just don't have the temperament for it. It's like you really got to keep your emotions in check. You have to really have like a bunch of charts up, and you have to be like in front of a computer or a device constantly. And I just don't have time. And so I figured, you know, and then like if you're getting in and out, there's like exchange fees, you got to pay taxes. And again, I just wasn't making enough. And I can remember when I saw Sundial drop like 20% because it was being day traded a lot. That was the final straw for me. I was so frustrated and so scared about losing all our money. So we actually got out of Sundial at a $289 loss. So again, when I'm seeing all these losses, it may not be a big number to all of you guys, but this is big to us. Zynga, AGNC, and Sundial Growers, you know, total we $1,700, $2,000. My math may be a little fuzzy, but still, we lost money. And like, I could have put that money in realty income and got a dividend every month. I could have put that money into Tesla. I could have did something else with that money. And again, like I said, it may not be a lot to many people. You may have lost much more than that. But the idea is sometimes you got to know when to cut your losses too. Like if I'm in a penny stock and it's just dying and dying and dying and dying and dying, sometimes you just got to cut your losses and learn from that and move on. Another thing that Uncle Larry said that I really, really love in one of his recent videos, Uncle Larry was saying that if you have, let's just say, for example, you have $100 that you want to invest, you should not be putting more than $10 into a penny stock, okay? Please do not do what we did like with Sundial. I was thinking I was going to get rich overnight, and you dump a lot of money into it. And yes, like I said, we got out, you know, at a loss. It wasn't a great loss, but every penny matters to me because we worked really, really hard for it. And, you know, in this whole investing game, I want to make money over the long term versus lose money. I don't care if it's $1, okay? I want to make money over the long term. So I wanted to share that with you, and thank you guys so much for that video topic I did, because I think it's important to be transparent, to let you guys know, look, I've made many mistakes. I actually made a video talking about some of the investing mistakes that we made, you know, like, and not even investing mistakes, money mistakes, you know, like the payday loan vibe. That was me. Cashing out a 401k. That's me, okay? And we can learn from our own mistakes and move forward. You are not your past, okay? You can actually get up from where you are right now, learn with some practical and easy and approachable investing steps, and get started to, actually building a solid portfolio that will help you over the long term, right? And keep in mind, some of our other investments like Apple or Disney or CVS may be down year to date. I don't look at that the same as like Sundial Growers, which was a penny stock. Why? Because those companies have been around since before I was born and they're not going anywhere. Whereas when you have a new company in a penny stock and you're trying to get in so you can get rich, it's unpredictable and it's really volatile. So if you are into that, again, you want to make sure you set your limits, you stop losses, or take your profits, or whatever it is you want to do, so that you are not holding the bag. I know how it feels to hold the bag. And like I said, sometimes you just got to know when to cut your losses, learn, and move forward, because I can't even imagine still owning like Sundial Growers. I think it's down. Let me pull up you see it up on your screen. Over the past 5 years, and Sundial hasn't even been out that long, but it's down 98%. That's scary, insane. And so again, guys, share down below so that we can keep the dialogue open. What are some companies that you made some snafus in, that you had to take a loss because you were holding the bag, because you were trying to chase money, chase riches, right? Leave some of those companies down below so that we can share with each other and motivate others to not make the same mistakes. This is why I'm an investor, because it takes all of the headache out of it for me. I buy and hold into good companies, into good funds, and just go on enjoying the rest of my life. So again, guys, make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Hit the little bell notification button so that you don't miss an upload every time I post a video. Follow me over on Instagram. Information is down below. If you need any help, investing help, one-on-ones, private groups, trackers, spreadsheet, check out my website, mt1finance.com. And until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.